Thank you very much, Lisa. Thank you very much for to everyone for being here and listening to this very interesting webinar. It's been very nice to hearing Ingrid as well with that very neat introduction of the dual vocational training. And as you listen to Denise, I'm going to share some of the things that Denise already told us, but with a little things that vary from the Ecuadorian experience. So I hope I'm as good as Denise with the timekeeping, and I'm going to share with you our experience in Ecuador. First of all, as Lisa already mentioned, Corporación Formados is an organization created by the private sector to represent the interests of the private sector in dual vocational training. These are probably you're already familiar with this slide, in which shows this is what we show every company in Ecuador how the dual vocational training works, the theory and the practice. And I'm going to point out the three things that motivated us. As Lisa said, I've been working personally for around 14-15 years in dual vocational training, but in Ecuador it has over 20 years being applied. What motivated us, as I said, is first of all to tackle youth unemployment, and then meet labor qualifications, and help companies to have their personal to meet their demand, and then the third thing is to increase productivity and competitiveness in the companies. So those are the things that convinced us when Lisa and Ingrid came about 15 years ago to Ecuador, and told us that this is the concept. We actually went all for it. This is one of the main things that we want to show you in terms of the way it works here in Ecuador. First of all, we have the companies, the institutes or schools, and then we have a coordination and mediation, as Lisa already mentioned as well. So what the organizations of the private sector do is they are like the center of this ecosystem, and coordinate the companies, the schools, the students. Ingrid also mentioned all the links come to the private sector organizations, and I'm going to share with you a little bit on how the structure is in Ecuador in a little while. So the whole thing aims a certification that we call it the German certification, but it is actually a second title that the students get. They get the local, the validated title here in Ecuador, and because we have matched all the requirements from the companies with careers that have already been developed in Germany, we make a match of those, and that allows us to also provide the students with a German certification, which is, as I said, a second title. I'm not going to go into the details on that because that's probably not the goal of this webinar, but just to give you the idea that that's one of the value-added things that we share with the companies, and that's one of the most valuable things that we have in our system in Ecuador. I love showing this slide because I and actually I lately and you'll see why I've been talking about this, um, and that's a slide that Ingrid and Lisa showed us um, some 15 years ago, 14 years ago, and they told us that all the worries, all the concerns from the companies about the costs of being uh, a working environment for the dual vocational training students uh, pays back in during the period of the education. So at the beginning, you have the net costs, what the companies feel like they're, it's costing them money, but pretty much at the middle of the training, they start getting it back because the students already have the theory, already know the theory, and start applying that theory in the practice. And they make projects along with their tutors, and they start adding value to the company. So the reason I love showing this slide is because when Ingrid and Lisa showed us this slide, we believed and we had faith in them. But now we've proven that that's true. We have already uh, we have already graduated a lot of students, and more than 150 companies have been working in this program, and they have told us that that is true. And it's the net profit starts a little earlier, actually. But that's why I wanted to show you that, because if you're implementing the vocational training in your organizations or in your country, um, that is something that does work, as this slide shows. That is the first board of the Corporación Formados. We started to we were created in order to contribute with the to the legal framework and represent the interests of the private sector in DVET, strengthen public-private dialogue, and set the position of the private sector with the public sector, raising awareness among training companies and prospective students to contribute to seeking training and placement, promote research projects for the development of the DVET system in Ecuador. I'll give you an example in a little bit. And coordinate the correct implementation of dual training with the institutes, implement quality criteria and standards, and train the players of the dual the VTET DVET system in Ecuador. Those are the six things that motivated us, and what guided us during these years. It's been already about 8 years since we were created, and I'll show you some of the results as well in the coming slides. So this is one of the things that I like showing, is because first of all, we had all the help from German institutions, and the German expertise on that. As Ingrid said, Germany has been working on this for centuries, and they transfer all that knowledge to us. And those are the organizations that are part of the project of the Corporación Formados. And just to give you an idea, the ones on the top are what we call transversal organizations. Those are chambers of production, chambers of commerce, which means they have many different sectors within them. In a chamber of production, there could be chamber of industries, could be a wood industry or a textile industry or a food processing industry. So all of them have many different sectors within them. And what we have agreed on is that they have to coordinate all the careers and curriculums that are transversal as well, so that anyone would need. And the ones below are the organizations that are sector organizations for the exports, which is kind of like in between. But AIMA is the Wood Industry Association, the Textile Association, the the Food Processing Industry Association, the Plastic Association, and the Software Association. So what I'm trying to explain here is that the sector organizations, they coordinate the sectorial careers. For instance, if we have a textile career, it'll be coordinated by AIT or the Textile Association rather than one of the transversal organizations. So
Christian,
that's.
Sorry to interrupt. 2 more minutes.
Oh, okay. I failed on being as good as Denise. Well, I'm going to go very quickly on this. That's the legal framework we started with. First of all, that's the organic law for higher education. That's all we had at the beginning, and then we were creating the academic regulations, the dual training regulations, and the dual student training agreement and with the institutions. And then we had the chance to create within the Ministry of Labor a very specific labor regulation, and also we created the public-private committee on dual training. On April the 9th, it's pretty new. The new law for economic reactivation through strengthening the link between the economic and the productive economic sector and education was approved. It was the law nicknamed as DVET law. What does the law actually do? Remember this slide? It wraps up everything in one very strong law and adds incentives such as for institutes, for companies, and for teachers and trainees. So that's one of the highest achievements that we've done in order to after more than 20 years, we started with nothing, and then we got now a law. I'm going to go very quickly on this. This is the first careers we started with for many different sectors. One of the projects that I told you in one of the first slides was Connect. We have a software that helps us coordinate the relation between the teachers, the company tutors, and students. Everything goes into that software and help us keep track of everything in order to provide the German qualification. Now that's some numbers, some figures, the number of students, the number of institutes, certified tutors, the companies. These numbers are changing every time because we have students every year coming into different careers, and I'm getting closer to the end. Was everything easy? No, it was not. It has been a step-by-step process. We started with nothing. Now we have a law, but first of all, we started with no applicable legal framework. Then companies were skeptical. They didn't believe it would work. They were like, well, it may work in Germany, but here in Ecuador is different. I don't know if it will work here. We had to work with the early takers in order to make this work. Technical careers are not very popular here in Ecuador for some reason. People want to be an architect, or they want to be engineers, but they don't want to be technicians. And that we're breaking this paradigm little by little. Uh, and the public sector didn't understand the concept at the beginning. Now, as I said, we have a law. Even though we have a law, there's some sectors on the public that they don't believe it would work, that they think that this is going to be something that it works in Germany but doesn't work here. So we've been facing challenges from the very beginning. Now, what's been the key to success from our point of view? First of all, we adapted. You have to adapt. One of the main things that we believe has been our key to success is that we didn't copy and paste the German model, but we didn't make our own model either. We found a balance between a good adaptation of the system in Ecuador. We had to persevere. You have to be to be patient, and you have to stay focused. That's and also you have to take every opportunity. We've taken every single opportunity when a new authority came, when an authority that didn't want to follow the process left. We took every single chance to share what our goal was, and that's pretty much what we wanted to share with you guys.